The iPEDS Data Center is a one-stop shop for retrieving iPEDS data. On the iPEDS website, follow the iPEDS Data Center link to begin defining your analysis. The Data Center is a very flexible tool, and often there is more than one way to do an analysis. We'll present one approach here, but you may find different ways to accomplish what you want to do. The Data Center presents a menu of choices. Run your cursor over the different options to see an explanation of each menu item in the large box to the right. We'll choose Compare Individual Institutions. We want to keep the default selection for provisional release data, so click Continue. This page shows that there are 3 steps in the procedure for comparing individual institutions. In Step 1, we select institutions for a comparison group. In Step 2, we select a variable for the report. In Step 3, we get the output. We're beginning with Step 1, so it's highlighted here. The first step is to select a comparison institution and a group of institutions that you want to compare or evaluate. Although you do not have to set a comparison institution to retrieve files from the data center, you do need to set one to utilize certain functions. Click Add and enter Regis. If you type only part of an institution name, a list of possible matches will appear below. If you type the full name correctly, the institution will automatically be assigned as your comparison institution. For our demonstration, we will select Regis University. Now we want to create a comparison group. This can be done in several ways, and the method you use will most likely vary depending on your data needs and which report you are generating. You can select institutions by typing institution names or unit IDs one at a time. You can select institutions by group or by variable. You can also upload a previously saved list. For this demonstration, we've already added University of Denver and Colorado College. We'll add one more by clicking on By Names or Unit IDs. Enter Boston College. As you type, a list of possible matches will appear. When you see the name of institution you wish to add, click the link. Once you've finished selecting your institutions to compare, click Continue. The little blue I buttons are information buttons. Each one provides information about the associated category or characteristic. For example, the I button next to Browse Search Variables tells us that we can browse the iPEDS variable tree by current year or survey, or search all variables by name or keyword. The second technique, Choose from My Variables, is only available if you have already selected variables during the current data center session. You can also create derived variables from the existing iPEDS survey, or upload variables that were saved in a previous session. For our analysis, we want to access enrollment data. We find enrollment variables in several locations in the variable tree. We want fall enrollment, since this data provides us with a snapshot of enrollment in the fall term, when first-time, full-time students traditionally enroll. Instead of using the fall enrollment branch of the variable tree, we expand frequently used and derived variables. This tree structure is very useful since it contains many often used variables like enrollment data. Expand fall enrollment and retention rates, and the next level of total, full, and part-time enrollment and fall FTE. For Step 1, select Fall 2013 and Fall 2012. For Step 2, check Total Enrollment and Full-Time Equivalent Enrollment. When you have finished selecting variables from the tree, click Continue. Review the list of My Variables. You can modify the list using the buttons provided to edit or delete individual variables, or all the variables. We want to include all 4 variables in our report, so click the Continue button to move to Step 3. To get the report, we must answer 4 questions. You can either leave the default values in place or change them. The first question asks about institution name and unit ID. Although unit ID could be helpful data to have in your file if later you want to link data from other analyses. For this demonstration, we only need the institution name. For the second question, we want the long variable names because the short ones are very cryptic. For the third question, you could select comma-separated format if you wanted to download data and work with it using Excel. But we will just view the data on screen. For the fourth question, we do not want to include imputation and status flags. Click the Continue button to get the report. Here is a nice, simple report comparing Regis University to 3 comparison institutions on 4 variables: total enrollment for 2013, FTE for 2013, total enrollment for 2012, and FTE for 2012. You can modify your selections using the links provided or return to the main menu to explore other options in the data center.